Hello, everyone, and welcome to Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town, episode 94. My name is Devon, but you can call me GiBi, and I'm here with my co-host Eric, who you can call Eric.
Hello.
Eric, would you say that going hello is like your catchphrase?
Yeah,
Like it seems like every
I
other
guess a
episode
little.
that's how you start.
Well, I don't have another nickname or anything, so I feel like I'm compensating.
I
Spite.
feel like as we approach episode 100 in, 2 months from now? I feel like there's a
Roughly.
couple things that are, I'm really bad at math, right?
Okay.
6 weeks, like 2 months from now. I feel like there's a lot of things that have crystallized themselves over the last, almost 2 years that we've been doing this.
Okay.
And, no, I'm just using this as an example of,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I do the intro and you go, hello, and then I usually launch into some sort of completely inane question that you're not prepared for.
That's right.
You know, typically, before we start the show, I go, oh, do you have stuff to talk about?
Yeah.
And you go, yeah, a few things. And I go, I have a few things, too. And then I ask you something that's not what we had pre-prepared.
Right. Like I'm not gonna, I'll pull the
Like, if
curtain
you were a
little bit.
horse,
You were,
if you were a horse, do you want to have normal, human intelligence? Or would you want to be a horse? Running wild and free. This is a
you've
question
already
that we
asked me
previously
that.
talked
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
Yeah. That we didn't prepare you for.
Right. Because before this happened, you were like, great, you have a lot of things to say about that brand spanking new Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie, right? And I said, I sure do. And now I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
My shoe that I'm going to drop on you before we talk about FNAF 2 is...
Do I go to the doctor? Occasionally I do go to the doctor. Sometimes when I injure myself and I'm like, ooh, that was an ouchies. Yeah! I go to the doctor and I get it looked at. So that my body doesn't fall apart on me.
I was going to ask if you've ever slipped on ice and gotten hurt, but I think you knew I was going to ask that for some reason.
I don't know. That's so quirky. In my life, yeah, absolutely. It has been a minute, thankfully. I'm okay at catching myself. So I'll just flail my limbs around for 4 seconds straight, and then I'll just freeze in the middle of just I have my balance again. I'm good.
Okay, well, you might be lucky enough to be balanced, where some of us out here, when we start falling on ice, fall the entire way to the ground, smack our head on the concrete, and then are okay, I'm just gonna cut it. This happened to me. I fell on the ground. I slipped. I fell. I hit my head, hit my back.
Huh.
And I will tell you, in the moment, I'm like, this does not hurt.
Yeah.
However, in the near future, it will.
Mm-hmm.
So the number one goal I have is to get inside really, really quickly, and then Eric can take care of me. And so I think, because right now my upper back hurts a lot, and I think it's because I jumped to my feet without any, regards for how that might pull a muscle or something. And then I got inside, and then you and our mutual friend, who we will talk about later because we saw FNAF with him, were like, are you okay? And I was like, yeah, I am. But, in a couple hours, I won't be.
Yeah,
and it's now been a couple hours, and I'm now in a lot of pain.
And just to be clear, a day. A day.
Yeah, by a couple hours, I mean 28 hours. Yeah.
And you were like, why would I go to the doctor? That's silly. All I did was fall on my spine, one of the most vulnerable pieces of the human body, and the back of my head, which has all of my vision centers of my brain. What do I need those for?
It's totally fine.
Your occipital lobe is crying.
I'm sure it's okay. Yesterday, I'm in a group chat with some people, and one of them sent a photo of a painting that they're making that's in progress, and I could have sworn that it was a painting of 9/11, And so when they then posted the next update and I realized that it was 2 eggs in a pan, I texted back and I said, "Oh, I thought this was 9/11." And everyone was like, "What are you, like, are you okay?" Someone said, like, "I want what drugs you have, har har har." And they're like, "What are you talking about?" I'm like, "No, it makes sense." So I started drawing a diagram. I'm like, "Look, this is the Hudson River. These are the towers."
And they all looked at you like, "Devon, what actual drugs are you taking?" And you're like, "No, I'm not on drugs. I'm just concussed."
No, I said I would go to my PC and Photoshop exactly what I think correlates between this real-world photo I just found and your painting, but I can't get out of bed because I'm concussed. Oh, that might be why I'm seeing things that aren't there. Like you said, my occipital lobe is damaged.
Yeah. Well, yeah, and you won't just like in Japan, you won't go to the doctor, and I can't do anything for you.
It's fine. It's totally fine. Speaking of lobes being damaged, let's segue to talk about our favorite franchise of all time, Five Nights at Freddy's.
Oh.
Frontal lobe got bitten off in the bite of 87.
Whoa.
Anyway, so this episode is being...
starts in 82. Uh-huh.
This episode of our show is being simultaneously posted on our podcast channel as well as my main FNAF channel, meaning this is going to be our most watched video just by default.
Wow.
Yeah, so a bunch of people clicked this having no idea that I had 94 episodes of a podcast they've never heard of.
That's crazy.
We're now going to be talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's 2 movie.
Okay.
I took you to see it.
You did?
With our friend.
Yeah.
And everyone on the planet knows my opinions about it because I've released upwards of 5 hours of content talking about it.
Wow.
So we're going to talk about your opinions.
Okay. Spoilers ahead.
Yeah, spoilers for the FNAF 2 movie. Do you want to start by saying what your thoughts on the first movie are?
I think the first movie was like what I expected a video game tie-in movie to be. It had some references. It had a plot and characters and themes that were like pretty close to what the game was doing, but did their own stuff as well. And it was fine. Like a solid 7 out of 10, inoffensive, kind of whatever. If the more you like the franchise, the more you'll probably like the movie. It's fine.
And this is coming from someone who you'd only really played the first game and a little bit of Security Breach. Like, you haven't even watched my channel. You don't even watch my channel.
I don't even watch your channel. I watched Markiplier, probably him, play the first 4 games, I think, like when they came out. But yeah, I never sought it out on my own or anything like that.
All right, so let's set the scene.
Okay.
You, I, and our 2 friends are going to the FNAF movie in theaters.
I can see it now.
And they haven't even seen the trailers. They don't want to sort of know anything about it going in. And they kind of like the first one.
Mm-hmm.
You come in, and I kind of expect you to have also not seen the trailers, because why would you have?
Right.
However, your perceptions are painted by one thing.
Okay.
What is that one thing?
You?
Yeah, well, yes. How me?
How you? Well, I went to upload the previous episode to this podcast, and in the process of doing that, I saw your video of why FNAF 2 was bad. And I saw like maybe the first 10 seconds of the trailer or something. Or you told me, because I was like, man, I sure hope Vanessa doesn't have any romantical business with the main character, because he could do way better. And you just looked at me. I was like, Devon, no.
So yeah, going in, you knew that I didn't like the movie.
Yes.
And I had kind of hinted to you, like, hey, you know how at the end of the first movie, the first thing you said after the end of the first movie was Mike should not forgive Vanessa.
Yeah.
He should, bringing her to the hospital was all he owed her, but now she should stay out of his life forever, and he owes her nothing.
Yeah, that's right.
And I just gave you this look, because in the trailer, I knew that the two went on a date together.
They're having a cute little picnic or whatever. Singing songs.
So I want you to walk everyone through the movie and your thoughts on the movie, and the good parts and the bad parts, because they've all heard me yap enough about it.
Okay, well, I'll try to be concise, and I've already forgotten some of the broad points. So, it picks up, 2 years after the first movie?
Correct.
Michael is, I don't know, renovating or flipping his house, and I was unsure if he was just renovating his own house or he has a new job as a contractor to renovate houses. Whatever. Hey, that whole big plot point of him taking care of his sister because he doesn't have a job and all that, and the legalities, none of that matters. So he's like, has a home. Abby's fine. She's not crazy in any capacity except that she just has some loneliness and sadness because her ghost friends from the previous movie, the haunted animatronics, they aren't around anymore. And Michael's like, oh, they're just broken and we can fix them. And one day I will fix them, but like, I have a job and a date to go on, so not anytime soon. Sucks that you're depressed, though. And Abby's like, damn, I really am. Oh, well, at least Vanessa's here to cheer me up. Oh, and she left with Michael. Okay, well, I guess I'm alone by myself. And she, like, goes on the bus and goes to school, and she's telling the story of the first movie to her classmates. And it's kind of a mixed bag. Some of them are like, you're full of shit. Some of them are like, just kind of scared from the story and don't engage. One kid's like, whoa, that was super cool, and I believe in aliens, and you, ghosts already, so why not haunted animatronics? Which, of course you would. You believe in ghosts. If you believe in ghosts, then you believe in haunted things. So she becomes friends with this kid, but I don't even know his name. I think it's
Doesn't
Rupert.
have one.
Really?
Yeah, I do not believe his name is ever stated.
Wow. Wow.
I found it interesting, like the smaller details that you're like absolutely recalling, like the exact words in these phrases. You did sort of skip the prologue.
What's the prologue? Oh my gosh, Michael and his date.
In 1982.
Oh, right. 1982
and the date
happened.
Yeah.
Okay, so the prologue of the movie, which isn't really part of the movie, so I didn't mess it up, it's fine, is there's another Five Nights at Freddy's location, the original one. The one we saw was a different spin-off one. This is the real shit. And in there's like a big birthday party happening, very Charles Entertainment Cheese style. And this one girl named Charlotte is just kind of like alone in front of the stage where the animatronics would like perform songs and whatever, and she's just sitting there by herself. And one friend, a child Vanessa, in 1982, comes up to her and is like, don't be weird and alone, have cake. And Charlotte's like, but I want to be weird and alone so I can see the puppet animatronic rise up from the trap door, because it's like super cool and I relate with it really hard for some reason. And Vanessa goes, that's weird, you should eat cake. And Charlotte's like, okay. So she goes to eat cake, and then she sees the Golden Bunny Bonnie / William Afton kidnap a child. Charlotte sees that and is like, oh my gosh, a child is being lured into a strange back room of a facility. I need an adult's help. And she runs up to just a random adult and is like, Mister, you need to help me. And he might as well backhand her away. And he's like, get out of here, child. You're not my child. And she, like, runs over to a different group of adults and is like, ma'am, please help. There's trouble. And they're like, the adults are talking, and backhands her away. And she's like, no adults are gonna help me. I have to do it on my own. So she sneaks in, she, like, just kind of wanders down the hall and just finds, through the right door and luck, where, like, this passed out child is, and the, William Afton, like, washing his hands. And so she goes into stealth mode. She gets the unconscious boy and, like, picks him up. And as she's doing this, William sees her. And so he starts chasing after her. And she starts running. He grabs a knife and is like, I'm gonna kill you because you have seen me. And also you're, like, taking away my victim. You know, big murder about to happen. And she just sprints for her life. She gets behind the curtains of the stage show, and she's almost free, and she's like, I did it! And she, like, is carrying this unconscious little boy, and then something happens, and the curtains open, and she looks out to the crowd and sees all the adults just kind of murmuring and chatting to themselves, and no one's paying attention to her. So she does a bloody murder scream, just pure, unfiltered, I need attention and help, like a primal animal, gather attention now. And, people start paying attention to her, and they're like, what happened? And she's, like, collapsing onto the stage. She, like, kind of sets the unconscious boy down / drops him, and he wakes up and is, like, runs to his mom, and he's like, oh, ma, wah. And she's like, I did it. I saved him. And then she collapses herself, like, back facing the crowd, and there are multiple stab wounds in her back, as we know, right, the implication that they didn't show on screen, that Michael Afton did reach her and stabbed her in the back with the kitchen knife a few times, and then just didn't...
William Afton.
What I say? It doesn't matter. And
you so,
well, their main character's name is Michael. And then she, like, the show starts and the trap door opens because, it's time for the show to begin. So she falls, all the adults scream, and the puppet animatronic just happens to be holding her, and she was so excited about it. And it was very Jesus-y shot. And the puppet ascends to the stage, and Charlotte is dead. And, right before Charlotte went through into the back rooms to save the kid, Vanessa grabbed her by the wrist and was like, don't do that. You shouldn't do what you're trying to do. And Charlotte is like, that's weird. You're weird. Breaks free of her grip, and then, everything else. And that's the prologue.
But wait, does that imply that Vanessa knew that her father was doing things like killing children, and that's why she tried to stop Charlotte?
Yes. At
That's
11.
Crazy.
At 11.
Yeah, age, whatever they are. Very young.
It's hard. Okay.
I was going to ask, so you correctly pointed out that, like, the boy is unconscious, and William's washing his hands, and then later, when she grabs the boy and brings him to the front, he just sort of wakes up and runs back to his parents?
Yes.
So why... What is that? What's William doing? Did he knock this kid over the head? Did he chloroform him?
We don't know. It just kind of...
We don't know.
He puts his hand on the boy's back and, like, guides him into the back rooms so the boy isn't suspicious or anything. And then it cuts to Charlotte's POV, and then the next time we see the boy, as far as I know, he's just, like, on the floor, unconscious. We don't know how.
Yes. it's very odd.
It could have been chloroform. It could have been just he hit him in the back of his head with his hand. Shrug. So there's that. Did we want to talk about things as we go through them, or should we save opinions for the end of the recap synopsis?
Oh, you can completely, as we're talking about each part, you can state any, comments you have on it. So, for example...
Great.
I would say in this section that the boy being unconscious and then waking up right when he needs to is very convenient for the movie.
Yeah.
And then, what is William washing in the sink?
Right. We don't know.
What is he doing?
See it.
But it's not, we don't know because this will be revealed in FNAF 3.
Right.
It's, we don't know because the movie doesn't clearly convey what is happening.
Right. So the thing that my biggest, I don't think this is a surprise. Number one Vanessa hater over here. I think she's terrible. She's a great character. The actress does a really good job. Don't want any confusion on that. The character of Vanessa sucks from the first movie to this movie. And it's a little bit weirder because she was clearly abused as a child, and what does it mean to grow up with a murderer as a father? So, some benefit of the doubt. But, your friend is gonna go try to save a child, and you're like, no, don't do that. My dad's in the process of murdering him. What? I don't know. I don't know if it's, unrealistic, or if that even matters. I part of my thought process of Vanessa as a character now is just I think they intentionally wanted us to dislike her, and that includes throwing on stuff to when she was a child, to the start of her sins, if started as a kid, not as an adult. So then you have even more reason to be well, she's been a piece of shit for 15, 20 years. Oh, I'm gonna hate her. Blah, blah, blah. But then, there's the nuances of what I just brought up. What is a child realistically gonna do? All they can do is try to save themselves in such a horrendous scenario. But man, it makes for great, I'm angry because she's a bad person. And I'm not gonna think about it as harder than that. I think Charlotte was fine. Normal kid stuff. No complaints.
A lot of people take issue with when Charlotte runs up to all the parents.
Oh,
and
yes.
There's a boy who needs saving, and the parents, don't do anything. A lot of people take issue with that and say that it's poorly written. What's your take on that?
So, I think two things. One, I've already told you. You told me that the Five Nights at Freddy's book series is, a fable tales and, teaching kids about morals. And with that perspective in my mind, I've just kind of been applying it to Freddy's in general. So I'm and I'll explain that part in greater context as we go through more of the synopsis. But it kind of makes sense of the lens of what they're trying to do, and adults bad, but are they? And blah blah blah. It feels a little cartoonish, of just how rude they are. However, this was back in 1982, not 2025. I wouldn't be surprised if there were a few adults to be you're not my kid, you're not my problem. I think the setup of the scene was a little could have used a little more explanation too. Like, was this one big birthday party and everyone kind of knows each other? Or is this, like, multiple different birthday parties happening at different people and friend groups? Because if you just went up to a literal random stranger, yeah, they're probably not going to help you as much. But if it's, like, your your friend's mom, yeah, that's a little weird that this child is now coming up to you, and you're responsible for them, at least socially, and you're just like, whatever. I don't care. I'm talking about the real estate. Okay, I'm trying to sell my house. So it's a little yeah, meh. If the parents helped, then the rest of the movie couldn't happen. So we're just gonna have them all be jerks.
Yeah, I had no issue with this. So some of my friends said that like this is like 1 point off the movie. You know, it's like one of the bigger issues with the writing. And I'm just like, no, this is what the FNAF universe is. This would be like criticizing Lemony Snicket for having adults that dismiss children and make the plot happen in his books. It's like, this is what the series has always been. In FNAF 1, you had Phone Guy be like, okay, I'm going to read off the policies. If you're killed on site, we will notify your parent, we will notify your family within 90 days and file a missing persons report after we're done vacuum cleaning the carpets. Like, this is a dark satirical world.
Mm-hmm.
And the fact that, like, parents don't listen to a child is, like, a key component of what makes the story work. And so I really don't have a problem with that scene whatsoever.
Yeah. I mean, it is jarring, and I understand that criticism if you don't have the context that you gave me. Because I think that really did help me be like, wow, this is wildly cartoonish. But if we're teaching morals, and it's kind of like what's right and wrong, and we need to make things black and white so our point gets across a little bit better, then yeah, sure, all the parents are gonna backhand the child.
Yeah, and then later in the movie when the science teacher is just the absolute worst to Abby.
Oh, it's crazy.
It's like, yes, this is a repeating pattern of the adults don't care about children in this universe. That is, in fact, a stylistic thing, not
That's a feature, not a
flaw
bug.
in the script. Exactly.
So I think that's all I have to say about the prologue, unless you have any questions for me.
No, just that. You picked
Okay.
up on a lot of the important stuff. You stated your opinion. I know that you've already retold the story up until the point where Abby's in school, but I do want to talk about the date scene.
Yes, so Mike goes on a date, and he's getting ready for it. Abby ties his tie, which I'm like, okay, this is one of two things. Either he is trying to find ways to bond with Abby more and more, and he realizes that he's not doing as much as he should for her, so he is going to find this small situation in his life that she can help him greatly, or at least he can play it off that way. So he is going to have her tie his tie, and it'll be this little bonding moment, and it's cute, and it's, you know, the little things in life that we have to remember that bring us joy. Or this 30-year-old adult man does not know how to tie a tie and asks his 11-year-old kid sister to do it for him, and she only knows how to because she's a girl, I guess. Why would she know how to tie a tie?
I think the implication is that it's really hard to tie a tie on yourself. It's easier to tie a tie on someone else.
Hey, if you just practice, it's not that bad. It's not that bad.
Sigh.
I know, I had to tie your tie.
That's
okay.
That scene is the only scene in the movie of, like, Mike and Abby just, like, being brother and sister.
Yeah, it was sweet.
Yes,
a little sad on his
more
part, but, you know, you had this sweet little dynamic and just like quiet moment of these two caring for each other. And then we don't see that again for the rest of the movie, basically. So, you know.
Yeah. There's the scene where he's like, "Hey, do you want orange candy?" And she's like, "No, I threw up last time I ate it." Ha ha ha.
Ha ha.
Ha ha.
Isn't that quirky? So
So Mike and Vanessa on a date.
Yes, Mike is like, I'm Abby, his new friend. I don't know his name either. I don't know if they said it. He helps with the
Jeremiah.
He helps renovate the house or whatever. He's like, "Oh, you're going on a date?" And every time Michael's like, "I'm not going on a date. It's just two adults hanging out, and just, you know, it's fine." And then he's there alone at the restaurant eating bread for what seems like half an hour as he's just waiting desperately, trying to convince himself it's not a date, even though it is. So then, Vanessa has a nightmare, right? I think that has happened. Yeah, that happens because they talk about it on the date. She has a nightmare about her dad being a killer or whatever. And, she shows up to the restaurant and is like, "Oh my gosh, Michael." And then she eats bread. And, I don't even know what happens on the date. It's like, "How are you? How is Abby?" "Yeah, it's fine, whatever." She misses her dead ghost friends or whatever. And then he's like, "Oh, so you're having crazy dreams?" And she's like, "Yeah, well, you know." And he's like, "You should do that dream thing I did in the first movie to see if you can get over it." And she's like, "Sounds scary, but maybe, I don't know, if I'm desperate enough or something. Probably not, though." And they go, "Okay, this was a good date." And by date, I mean way of communicating to the audience of what this exchange of information is happening. We're not even gonna hold hands because that would be gross. That's the date.
Yes, and it kind of is supposed to... As far as screenwriting goes, I've liked the movie up to this point, like on my first watch, where... Okay, we need to establish where the characters are now compared to where they were in the first movie. We have a scene of Mike and Abby being siblings. We have now redefined Mike and Vanessa's relationship as like, ooh, maybe they are interested, because Mike said, "Oh, this is a date, isn't it?" And then Vanessa's like, "What?" And Mike's like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't say anything. I said, what a day it's been." And then it also talks about the dream she's been having, which sets up later in the movie when Vanessa does her little like dream seance thing. So I think so far the movie's been quite economical. And I like the little joke where the waiter, swipes all the crumbs off the table.
I did not care for that joke. I thought it was lame. I thought it was...
That's Scott Cawthon joke for you.
Haha, fancy restaurants, am I right? They don't want slobs in it. And it's like...
Har.
Okay. What do you on about? Also, it fits them they should not have gone on this date. They went to a fancy restaurant where your waiter comes by with a piece of metal to scoop off the crumbs because you're eating your bread like a slob. That doesn't fit either of their characters. They would, I think, much rather enjoy a picnic or doing an activity. But I think Michael has this idea that a date is supposed to be a fancy restaurant, so that's what he does, but then he's in denial about it being a date, even though, presumably, he picked a fancy restaurant for it to be at. It's either levels of self-denial, or just, not thinking about it. Either case, it annoys me.
Yeah, the first time I watched it, I was like, Eric is just gonna deny the premise of this happening. He's not gonna be able to get past
it's
Mike forgiving Vanessa.
It's not even what the characters would do, I think. I mean, except for that thing of you just said about Mike. I don't know. Hey, we just had a blood pumping, life changing event in the first movie. Yeah. No,
nothing.
Oh, okay.
Phrasing. Continue.
Let's go on this date to try to be normal, and let's have it completely unrelated to our except, as I say this now, it's not unrelated to their characters because their characters are so shallow, we don't even know if that would be an accurate assessment. Because all we know about Michael is that he has hung up on the past, but not anymore, and that's it. And I guess he's good at fixing things, but not really. He just says that maybe.
Well,
yeah.
A couple scenes from now, they're gonna have their big fight, right?
Okay.
Because Mike says, "I'm trying to fix you."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "Oh, you're trying to fix me," and then she storms away. That scene's very bad, but we'll get to that when we get to it.
I don't know,
but
man.
I do think, I do think, turning Mike from like I'm not a functioning adult because I can't get over my trauma to I am now a functioning adult, and I guess being an adult is taking care of people. So I need to take care of my sister, and I need to take care of my crazy girl who fell into my life because she was like a murderer or whatever, but she's traumatized.
Yeah. Well, and it's like, I can see on the one hand how it makes sense, right? He was hung up on this, problem that he had in the first movie. Then he overcomes it with the help of friends and stuff in the movie. And so now in the second movie, he's like, well, now I'm fixed. I'm solved. My ish is gone. So I just need to do that for everyone. And it's like, yeah, I could see the logic, but I feel like I'm doing a lot of the heavy lifting in that logic, not the movies. That's what I don't like.
Yes. Yeah, there's quite a few things that are like that in the movie overall. As we'll meet up again with Abby in school, but I do want to say, having watched the movie 3 times, I did pick up on it the first time, but it is so subtle that I'm wondering if you picked up on it as someone who's only seen the movie once and has also only seen the first movie once.
Okay, tell me.
Why is Faz Fest happening?
Faz Fest is happening because the events of the first movie happened, and the aunt is putting that out into the public of like the crazy story of the first movie, and she was attacked in her room or whatever in her house. And then I believe I don't remember if it was to try to use that as an angle against Michael for custody of Abby, or if she was just kind of like in a psych ward or something, because I feel like they also said that, but I might be misremembering. And then Abby is talking about it at school, so it's giving it a bit more weight. And then it's also like an anniversary of Freddy's either being in the town or having closed. So it's just like a lot of Freddy stuff happening at once. And
so all I was looking for was the aunt survived the first movie, told people what happened, and is now in a psych ward.
Yeah.
I thought that they skimmed over that so fast. I'm like, are people in the audience even going to remember that there was like an aunt character in the first movie at all?
I think I only remember it because we watched Five Nights at Freddy's 1 like a month ago or so.
Yeah, like less than a month.
If it had been, 3 years? Like that's when the first movie came out? Yeah. 2 years? I'd be like, I guess there wasn't. Yeah, right. I think that's how I would be otherwise. But, I did pick that up.
Good. I'm glad to hear it. So then Abby goes to school and tells the story, and then is in science class, and the teacher's being mean to her.
Yes.
And he goes up to her, and he's like, you shouldn't join the science fair because your invention is bad.
Yep. And
she's like, but Mr. Burns, or whatever your name is, but I like science. And he goes, well, you know what the school motto is?
Others help each other.
Others help each other. My favorite line in the movie, one of my favorite lines in Five Nights at Freddy's in general. Nobody in our audience laughed. No one in our audience reacted in any way. The entire film. They didn't laugh at the har 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 har. They didn't cheer when Baby was on screen. They didn't scream the first time we saw the puppet with McKenna Grace's like face. There were zero reactions to anything in the entire sold out theater the entire movie.
Well, you know.
I was disappointed.
We did not have a great crowd for it, but also I think some of that stuff kind of falls flat. And just going har 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 in a rhythmic tone does not mean I clap at the shiny now. You gotta work for my emotions.
But it was funny. He squeezed the bear and the bear went har har har.
No, that doesn't do any. What does it do? What does it do for me?
It's funny. It's
not funny.
To the bear, the funny bear, scare bear.
There are two noises in the Five Nights at Freddy's universe: har 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 har, and the music box jingle from the second game, and that's it. So you can't just keep shoving one of two noises in my face going, isn't this funny? Isn't this good? Aren't you having a good time? Not anymore. This is all you know. Show me something new.
So Abby gets home and decides to go to Freddy's to fix up her friends because the boy in the striped shirt suggested it.
Because Michael is on the date. She's home alone. Her animatronic, she was encouraged by her no-name friend that she's actually really good at fixing technology stuff, and she should go fix her friends. Sorry. You can take back.
Yeah, no. I'm just getting us up to speed. So then she goes to Freddy's and leaves a note on the door, and Mike comes in, and even though his door is see-through and it's at eye level, he doesn't see it until he's inside. And then he goes to Freddy's, and then the animatronics aren't there, and she's like, where are they? And he goes, they're here and there.
In your heart.
And then she's like, no, I mean my friends. And he's like, I don't know, they're here in your heart. And then she's sad. And then he says, I'll let you get a prize from the prize counter. And he said, how about orange candy? And she says, no, I threw up. And he says, haha, well, what else do you want? And she looks over at a strange green box with Toy Freddy on it and says, I want that. And then she picks it up, and then the camera, so the audience can see on the back, it says something to the effect of, talk to us at any time. And we're like, ooh, that's interesting, because it's kind of what Abby wants, although she does not read that before picking it up, so it must be her psychic connection to, like, the ghosts that got her to choose it. And then they leave.
Wait, hang on. The thing, that is on the side that she sees. She sees that thing, sees Toy Freddy, like, on his face on this little rectangle device. And the rectangle device on the top and bottom, separated between two lines, is like, Faz speak. Talk to us at any time. That's why she looks at it. Because it says that, and she sees talk to us at any time.
I think it's only on the back, but we can agree to disagree, and I can be wrong.
Fair
That's
enough.
Very fine. So what's the other sort of side thing that we're then shown that then makes this next part make sense?
I don't...
The little side adventure with other characters?
There are other characters?
But when the TV crew goes to the other Freddys?
Oh, okay, sure. Wait, really quick, I just want to point out something. We're in an abandoned building. I'm feeling really down. There's a lot of toys surrounding you and I, Devon. And you say, as a way to cheer me up, hey, well, you can take one thing from here. Why can't I take all of them? It's an abandoned warehouse of toys. Let me take all the toys. This is silly.
That is quite funny.
I get he was like role playing being like a clerk behind the counter, and you only have 1,000 tickets or whatever.
1,000,000 tickets.
1,000,000 tickets. Most of that's just useless knickknacks. Just grab as much as you can. Her friends are dead. Anyway.
Her dead friends are dead.
Well, you know. So, as that's all happening, the not mystery machine, what is it? The scooper snackers or whatever.
The spectral scoopers or something.
Yeah. It's a very, like 2000s, like ghost hunter show with like, you know, a few people and like, yeah, they show some of, like, one of their episodes, like, you know, one of the characters is watching it. Abby is watching it before Michael goes on the date. That, like, you know, there's bright lights and oh my gosh, did you hear that? And it's filmed in a night setting, so everything's, like, green and white or white and black. Anyway, the not mystery machine, pulls up to the original Five Nights at Freddy's building, where they got permission from the security guard there to give a tour. And so the security guard meets them outside and is like, hey, what's up? You guys ready for the tour? And they're all like, yeah, like, thank you again for letting us check out this place. It's so cool, blah, 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 blah. So they go inside and they're just kind of like expositing and like, you know, look at all the spooky stuff that used to not be spooky. Ooh, there's a river. Ooh, there's a cove. There's you know, this is the grand stage, blah, blah, blah. And then the characters each have the scoopers. They each have, like, you know, one person has the camera, one person has the microphone, one person has some bullshit. And the person with the microphone, because it's also like a, I don't know, it can like pick up noises as well, kind of like an amplifier. I forget I don't know. She starts hearing a weird melodic ringing coming from somewhere, and she goes to, you know, wander off and find it. And the security guard's like, what are you doing? And she's like, nothing, I'm just gonna take a look around without you. And he's like, okay. And so then it's the security guard and two guys there, and the one guy is like, whoa, I saw a weird thing over there, and he leaves. And then it's one guy and the security guard, and it's like, well, just you and me. Would be a shame if something bad happened. I don't know. And they each get messed with in the building somehow. There's the puppet animatronics and like puppet dolls that are like set up in the river of the building, and the one guy walks around and he like falls into the water because he's the klutz, and the puppets like attack him like piranhas in the water. Another guy gets like the girl, like, I don't know, they each die. The other guy gets like ditched by the security guard and he like dies from something. It doesn't matter, maybe Balloon Boy. And then the girl walks all the way down into the secret special room that is underneath the trap door of where Charlotte died. There's a big present gift box, and there is a music box in front of it, and it's playing the tune that she was listening to this entire time. And so she turns off the music box, and then the puppet animatronic comes out and possesses her. And then the security guard was following her, and he sees that happen, and then the puppet sees him watching her, and she is now possessing this human woman. And so then she chases him, the security guard runs away and gets outside the building, and the puppet screams because she cannot get outside. And that's what happened in that scene.
Yes, so then Abby takes the fast talker home.
Yep.
And she's like, Chica, can you hear me? guys, can you hear me? And Mike, like, looks through her bedroom door and sees her doing this, and he has an inexplicable look on his face, like he's supposed to be feeling an emotion, but nobody told Josh Hutcherson what emotion he's supposed to be feeling, and then he walks away.
That's so accurate. Yeah, so they go to bed, right?
It's pouring down rain.
It's pouring down rain. They go to bed, and
we cut to Vanessa's perspective.
And she's trying to listen to Michael and have that, like, lucid dreaming thing. She successfully does it, and she's, like, presumably in her, like the house she grew up as a child, and she's, like, wandering around, and she is spooked out and stuff, and then she, like, goes upstairs, and she sees her dad at the end of the hall, and he's, like, in the golden Bonnie suit, and she's, like, scared, but she's like, I don't need you anymore. You've controlled my life for long enough, and you don't own me, and I'm me, and fuck off. And he's like, turns around, and he's like, no, I will always own you. You are mine, and you are always my favorite, and I will make you like me. And he runs at her down the hallway, and then she runs away, and then they have, like, a cartoon chase, Scooby-Doo style, and then she's like a child as she's running away from him because she's scared and blah, blah, blah. And then she gets her confidence, and she's like, I'm not a little girl. I'm a police officer. But she says that all internally because she doesn't say anything. And so then she shoots her father off from the second floor onto the first floor and is like, I did it. I killed him. The bad man can't hurt me anymore. And then he, like, gets up and attacks her anyway. And that's her dream. And she's like, oh, I guess it didn't work. I don't know. I guess I suck.
Well, she never has visions of him for the rest of the movie, so I think that her shooting him and him falling off the railing was enough to defeat him. So, like, he is defeated. The movie tells us that he's been defeated and he's no longer haunting her, so.
I guess. Doesn't he, like, grab her again after she shoots him?
I think so, but, like, again, as far as the movie's concerned, this was her dealing with her trauma, and that's over now. She had one dream, and now she's all set.
Oh, that's not what I took away.
That's not what you took away? Because the scene where she's in the spin class and he's there.
Oh, yeah. She, like, pulls a gun.
That never happens again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
well, because the movie didn't want it to. Because she shoots him in the dream, and he's like, bleh, I'm dead. And then she's like, I did it. And then he just, like, gets up and yells at her, and I thought, like, grabbed her and was like, you'll never really kill me. I don't know. It was bad. I didn't care for it.
Yes. Okay. The something that for you might not have been as big of a thing as it was for, like, FNAF game fans, but the beginning of that scene had her opening a box and she took out a couple objects like marbles and a small diary and a mirror and Garrett's plane from the first movie. And then she turns on the TV and there's static playing.
Right.
And she sort of does this to get into the
mindset,
memory headspace.
Yeah.
And it's like, what interesting details. Like, what are those other objects? Where do they come from? Why does she associate them with this trauma? What is Baby, the animatronic, doing in the father's workshop? If this is like 1982, that's very weird.
Yeah, you know. He's just got hobbies. That's not important.
Okay, so then what happens?
Abby goes to, she's asleep. The speak and spell, like, is like, Abby, come, wake us up, free us. And she's like, my friends are alive, I must go to them. I don't know how, though. And Chica's like, I will show you the way. And what I thought was happening is, Abby gets on her bike and she pedals to this new quote-unquote location, new to us, old to the characters. And I thought she, like, had her eyes closed and Chica was, like, possessing her and, like, showing her in her mind's eye where to go. And I was like, wow, that's a huge power spike in their abilities and stuff. And you were like, no, she just had the speaking spell with her. Except she didn't have the speaking spell with her. And I don't know if you actually said that. Because Michael saw the speaking spell was calling for Abby. So how did she get there? Fuck if I know. But she gets there. And she sees, like, the toy Chica and the rest of them. And, I don't know, is like, yay, my friends are alive. You didn't move on to heaven, which I should have complicated feelings about, but, you know, it's cool that you're here. Because Michael brings that up, that they could go to heaven, and she's like, well, guess they aren't. And then they just kind of hang out and have a good time. And then she comes home in the morning next day and is like, wow, Michael, the world sure is beautiful and bright. And look at these drawings that I did. Everything is better all of a sudden. And he looks at the drawings and sees what they're Abby playing with Chica in the river at the location, and, you know, her, Michael, and Abby, and Chica, and blah, blah, blah. Many drawings of her loved ones, with the animatronics, in a weird new setting. And Michael goes, wow, I'm glad that bout of depression's gone with, whew, that was rough, and thinks literally nothing from the previous movie about how drawings saved their lives. And is just like,
Abby's drawing something strange to do with ghosts? That can't mean anything. I mean, it did last time, but now it doesn't. Now
it doesn't. Why would it? Because that movie's over. And that must mean it doesn't happen anymore. I don't know. I'm just getting paid $2 million, so I don't need to think about it too deep. And then, I don't know what I guess Vanessa enters the home, right?
Yes. And Vanessa comes over to tell Mike about the dream that she just had.
She's like, oh my gosh, I cured myself of my trauma. I just wasn't good at it before you. You're so cool and handsome. And Michael is like, let's have this conversation outside, because Abby's still a child, even though she, like, went through her horrendous shit and whatever. And I'm just not paying attention to her anymore because, like, whatever. And they go outside, and Vanessa's like, I did it. I did the thing. And Charlotte, and Michael's like, Charlotte? What do you mean? And she's like, uh-oh, I didn't tell you about when I was a child, and I let my friend die. And he's like, wow. Okay, well, I'm glad you're fixed and I fixed you, and, cool. And she goes, fix me? That's crazy talk. You just want to fix people. You don't actually love me or anything. And he's like, I guess you're right. I don't know. And Vanessa leaves.
Yes, she literally saw Abby go, I was hanging out with Freddy yesterday at this place with the river. And in Vanessa's head, she's like, that has to be the location where Charlotte died. There are no ghosts there, meaning that Abby's actually been talking to Charlotte, the vengeful spirit who wants to, like, kill all the adults in town. This is highly concerning. And then Mike, like, upsets her for 5 seconds, and she's like, you know what? Screw you and your sister and this town. I'm going to stomp away all angry. I will go to the location to see what's going on and see if it is really Charlotte, but I will not even get over my pride for 1 second to tell Mike that Abby broke out last night to go to this location. I think that was quite a forced confrontation.
Okay.
To make the rest of the movie happen.
So I'm just saying, right? If I know that your house is haunted or something, the one you bought, and I knew that there was a ghost possessing it, and but I had been sealing it away for years because of a magic relic, and then you pissed me off? Fuck you. I don't know you shit. Yeah, you maybe saved my life and dragged me to the hospital, but what did you really do for me?
My God.
Nothing. So Vanessa...
Nothing, apparently.
Vanessa goes to the other location, and she's like, "Bracka bracka, Charlotte, ding-a-ling-a-ling, where are you?" And Charlotte's like, "Thanks for making this easy," and just like holds her hostage, kidnaps her. And Vanessa's like, "I don't get it, Charlotte. You were asleep. And you, because of the music box." And she's like, "Yeah, I killed the dumbass who, like, stopped the music box." And she's like, "What? But then how did this all happen?" And I just like to imagine, the security guard is just, twirling his mustache and laughing off screen 3 feet in the other direction. And
Other Michael, you mean?
The security guard. Yeah.
Michael.
Yeah, the security guard whose name we don't know.
No, he said at the beginning of the movie. So the TV show person's like, "We're meeting the security guard whose name is Mike." And then they get there, and they're like, "Are you Mike?" And he goes, "My name is Michael."
Michael.
And they're like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. Okay, fair.
So Abby goes and meets Toy Chica, and it's like, your body's different. And then, like, she comes home and she has her new science fair toy project thing.
Yeah, Toy Chica 3D printed a miniature version of herself.
Yeah,
that
I'm glad that you picked up on that.
The plastic's too weird. And then, what? No, but so as Abby went to see Toy Chica and get a new science fair project, are we saying this out of order?
No.
Because doesn't
we are so far completely in order.
Okay. So as that's going on, Charlotte is like, "Vanessa, if you don't want me to kill Abby because I can remotely control all of the animatronics, tell me the password to disable the perimeter lock." Yes.
You've skipped a scene. Jumped. We were going in order, but you have skipped a scene.
Okay, I must not have been good.
Okay. So it's everyone's favorite, side plot in the movie. It's the science fair.
Right. Okay.
So the puppet grabs Vanessa. We then cut to the next day. Abby is going to the science fair.
Okay.
Mike drops her off and says, "I'm going to go somewhere, but I'll be right back." He's going to go talk to the guy who left that flyer outside the pizzeria that says Freddy's is murder.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. Whoops.
Yep.
And
so
Abby's
Abby goes
like,
inside.
"You're not going to come with me? I really would like my moral support and legal guardian to be there. It would mean a lot." And he goes, "Fuck you, kid."
I have more important things, like talking to this man I only know from the telephone today for absolutely no reason, when it could definitely wait for tomorrow, given that today is Saturday, which means tomorrow's also a weekend. But no, I have to go right the second.
Well, you gotta rest on the Lord's Day. You don't know what could happen if he goes over to that man's house on a Sunday.
True. Anyway, Abby goes inside.
Yes.
And her teacher doesn't like that she's there.
And he's
so what does he do?
She's like, "Look, I got a new, improved, really astounding piece of work of animatronic technology that anyone in their right mind would be impressed that an 11-year-old made. And I just walked by a kid with a, styrofoam volcano, and that looks like garbage." And the science teacher goes, "Wow, you're so wrong," and slaps it out of her hands. Not actually, he picks it up to admire it, and he butterfingers. "Oh, it fell and it broke. Whoopsie." He's also like, "Why are you here? I crossed you off the name because others help each other." And she's like, "Bitch, you said that, not me. I wanted to do the science fair." And then he breaks it and stuff, and Abby runs away, tears in her eyes, because the adults are mean and don't listen to her. And she runs away, all the way to wherever the Five Nights at Freddy location is with Toy Chica, and she cries to Toy Chica. But not before or until we go to Michael, who's talking to a dad, the dad of Charlotte, and Michael's like, I saw your flyer and I was really compelled to call you because, hey, isn't this just crazy? And I don't know, have no one in my life to talk about these things with. Not my kid sister who experienced the same trauma. Not my maybe girlfriend who experienced a worse version of that trauma. And not my aunt who, yeah, I don't get along with her, but also experienced that version of trauma. I just can't talk to anyone else. So it's really cool to find another victim of these events and bond with you. And the dad's like, yeah, I can't agree more. And then, I don't...
Well, what's the interesting thing? What's the interesting thing about the man that he's talking to?
He's played by a good actor.
Who's he played by?
The guy that played the guy from Scream.
And why is that interesting?
Because Matthew Lillard played William Afton, who was a killer in Scream, and this dad is the other killer in Scream. Spoilers for Scream. Isn't that quirky? They're one of the most interesting pieces of information about the movie isn't about the movie at all, but it's actors. Not that the actors aren't part of the movie, but like the in-lore stuff is way less interesting than the out-lore thing. Anyway, it's not like he's gonna be the killer.
Mm-hmm.
Because he's like, Michael, you're such a cool, sexy man, and I feel compelled to give you this music box because you say that, you're shifting through my newspapers because I've been hoarding everything related to my daughter in any capacity. Grieving father, get it? And you saw this river and you didn't know about the river, and you said your kid sisters drew the river. So now you have to go to this other location. So if you do actually go, please take this music box and I don't know, put it there, leave it running or something as a memento to my dead daughter who we have bonded over. And she's like a great girl, who died too tragically and too soon. And he goes, thanks, I will. And, yeah, that's actually kind of weird. I don't...
Yeah.
It's because it takes Michael sifting through the newspapers and see a river for him to be like, oh my gosh, a river. Abby drew a river. There's a second Five Nights at Freddy's location. That's crazy. Maybe there's a plot going on after all outside of the mundanities of ordinary life. And it's just like, yeah, man, where have you been? Who hit you with the stupid bonk? The stupid hammer?
Oh, Mike's gonna be hit by the stupid hammer real hard at the end of the movie.
Maybe he slipped and fell on ice and didn't go to the doctor or something. I don't know.
Oof.
So
Oof. Low blow.
It is low because he's on the ground. Mike gets the directions from the dad. He goes over there and is like, shit, Abby's not there because Abby... Okay, so they have the scene with the dad. Cut back to Abby. She's with Toy Chica. She's like, Toy Chica, I don't give a shit about Freddy and Bonnie because, I don't know, they didn't mean anything to me before. Girl power, I guess. I'm not entirely sure why. I'm so curious why they focus so much on Chica, and not Freddy, the name of the guy, whatever. Doesn't really matter, let's be honest.
I have a conspiracy for this, I'll tell you later.
Anyway, Toy Chica's like, hey, Abby, that's some, baloney, and remember the other day when I said I needed your help, but then I brushed it off that I didn't need it that bad, and I 3D printed you a miniature version of myself? version of myself. Well, that favor's come up now. I need you to put in a password, and then I can help you with your thing. And she's like, okay, I trust you implicitly with my life because you're my best friendo, and you would never kill me. And Toyoshika goes, that's right. And so that Vanessa and Charlotte, who have just been hanging out for a day, I guess, that's weird. I did not pick up on that it has been a day that she was just held hostage.
Yeah, so let's pause here. We're about halfway through the movie somehow.
Damn, fuck, I need to go faster.
So the puppet, Charlotte, whatever, in Lisa's body wants the password to leave.
Yes, because there is a perimeter lockdown.
Yes, she's gained Abby's trust via the Faz Talker telling her to come here, befriending Toychika, and then saying, well, if you come back, you need to do this.
Right.
How did Charlotte, who basically woke up the night before when, the music box was broken, and then she takes over the TV crew people's body.
Yeah.
How does she then go, okay, here's my plan. Here's the plan.
Okay.
I will reach out psychically to a child who has a Faz Talker, which exists for some reason. I will convince them to come here. I will then say, okay, but if I 3D print this toy for you, you will owe me a favor in the future. I will then hope that, for some reason, that child will go home, draw a picture of the building, that the only person in town who knows about this aspect of the building, that being my best friend from childhood when I was alive, Vanessa, will see this, be concerned enough to come into the building where I can take over her body, and then I will do something to make Abby come back to the restaurant, and then I will use her as a hostage, and this will be before Vanessa starves to death. That's the plan.
Well, you can go 3 days without food or something, so...
But, none of these things, the issue that I have, and a lot of my friends have, is that nothing in the movie has causation. There's no plan. The puppet's plan relies on stuff happening that the puppet has no knowledge of and no control over.
Well, so I understand completely, right? Here's what happened. The puppet woke up, looked around, took a body, and was like, cool, I need this perimeter on lockdown to be lifted. So the plot's just gonna happen to me, and I'm just gonna use that to my advantage. And that was the plan. The puppet took the script and was like, and this is gonna happen, and that's gonna happen, and I'm home free. And then threw out the last 5 pages, because why would you need those?
Crazy.
I guess you could, right, for me, the audience member, to do more logic lifting. I guess when Charlotte possessed the scooper lady, she okay, Abby watched an episode of the Scooper Lady's show. So then when Charlotte possessed the Scooper Lady, she got a vision of everyone who's ever watched her show, and then that's how she learned about Abby. And then she felt the radio connections between the TV and the Fazbear Talker to communicate with Abby, and that's how she knew that. And then she was just relying on her sweet talking to be like, Abby, you should hang out with me all of the time.
So complete nonsense. I agree. Really bad writing. I agree.
Or she possessed Michael, the security guard, and then just let him be off screen. That's right. Yeah, because he was twirling his mustache off screen 3 feet on the other direction. So then she was like, hang on a minute. I need some more information about the plot. Possessed him, let him go, learned what was happening. That Abby exists and there's another man named Mike in the town, and then the puppet repossessed the Scoop Girl. Casual, whatever. And then,
So complete nonsense. Got it.
yeah. So Vanessa's like, okay, you're holding Abby hostage. I will tell you the password to the perimeter lockdown. It is this. Chica tells Abby that, so Abby enters it because Chica doesn't have fingers. And then they're free, and Abby calls a taxi, and her and Toy Chica go into take a taxi to school so she can so Toy Chica can be her new science fair project. She has had 3 science fair projects for 1 science fair. That's brutal. And then Vanessa is shit, what does happen to Vanessa?
So the puppet throws Vanessa into a locker. This all happens perfectly. So Abby's at school, leaves school, goes to the restaurant, leaves the restaurant, goes back to school. Those are timed absolutely perfectly with Mike realizing she's not at school and then going to the restaurant to try to find Abby. So they just miss each other, like, twice.
Right.
He goes there, walks around, and frees Vanessa. The puppet has, in secret, gone into Toy Chica, so that when Abby calls a cab to take them back to school, the puppet's now inside Toy Chica. So Abby and Toy Chica with the puppet are back in school. Mike has freed Vanessa from a locker in the Freddy's location. And she then proceeds to tell him the story that we've learned thus far.
Yep, and he says,
wow, everyone's gonna die if we don't stop these animatronics. And Vanessa's like, there's a computer here that can, like, find them and turn them off. And Mike goes, okay, I will stay here and do the computer thing. You go out and find Charlotte. And she's like, okay. So she goes and gets in her car. And he sits down there and starts typing away at buttons. A couple scenes later, when Vanessa's driving down the road, she will suddenly be attacked by Mangle, who's on top of her car.
Yes.
How did Mangle get on top of her car?
Well, the perimeter lockdown was lifted, so any animatronic can be anywhere now.
True.
And it
so Mangle was in a tree.
Hey, why are you asking so many questions? What's up with that? Step
Don't you
off.
like the scene when Mangle was on the car? Don't you like that? But, like, it wouldn't make sense if he was on there before Vanessa got in her car, because then she would have seen him. And It doesn't make sense that she would have gotten on top of the car while Vanessa was driving, because Mangle's not that fast. Well, it's just don't question it. Just enjoy a movie.
Devon, Mangle is a breakaway and put back together. He was either under the car, so Vanessa couldn't see, and then was, like, in a twisted position, right? Or just broke down into tiny pieces and, like, put himself, in the car or something. Or he's magnets. Why do you gotta ask questions? So then,
I like the movie, because I like movies and I want them to be good.
Well, so then, I don't know, it cuts between Vanessa and Mike each doing their thing. Mangle's attacking Vanessa. Mike is, doing computer things, I guess. It also cuts between Abby and Toy Chica, and they're at the science fair, and everyone's smiling and applauding for them, except for the teacher, who's like, this is an abomination to science, and I'll kill you. So then, Michael's, like, I don't know, trying to find the GPSs on each of the animatronics, which causes a security breach to show up in Toy Chica's vision, which alerts the puppet that someone's in the computer room doing computer bananas. So then she activates the prototypes that they kept for spare parts in the back to go deal with it. So then Michael then has to, like, put on a Freddy Fazbear face snout mask in front of his face to distract the prototypes from trying to kill him. And there's no door, because the game didn't have a door. And so there's no
Yeah,
door
did you
here.
Clap?
And
Did you clap?
Why
Oh my God,
is there no door? Ah!
There's a mask he can wear. Yay!
Clap.
Like in the game.
Look at these keys I'm jangling in front of your face.
Hold on. You did not watch my review, the reviews posted on my channel of any of this, right?
I did not.
And we did not really have a conversation after the movie about my opinions on it, right?
You did not express your opinions specifically so we could talk about it today, for this video.
You are quoting a lot of things that the other people on my 5-hour review of the movie said, and I'm feeling vindicated that, like, a non-fan of the movie would also agree that those are flaws and that you're using similar phrases. I just need to make sure my audience knows I did not prep you or prime you to have these opinions. This is all
my thoughts coming from my brain through my mouth. I would never sell out to Devon.
That's incredible.
Well, it feels like that's adaptations 101, I feel like. You know, you could have a cheeky little, pick up a doll and squeeze it and go, her. And some people will be like, eh. And some people will be like, oh my gosh, yay. And if you have one of those, hey man, you put in your Easter egg, you did whatever, who cares? Good job. When you just keep going, hey, it's the Thing. Hey, you know that thing from The Thing that you like? It's that thing. And look, there's another one of those things over there. And this thing is there too. Aren't you excited about all the things that you like from The Thing? It's dumb.
Tell us how you really feel.
It's too much. It's too much. You need to be able to have self-control and restrain yourself at times. You can't just smother a bunch of bullshit onto the wall and see what sticks. That doesn't make for a good product. It makes for a messy, sloppily constructed art piece at best because of the brick wall and the slop.
So you seem very frustrated by this turn of events, but you're not a FNAF fan. So what are you thinking of in general that has done this in the past that has made you worked up?
Oh, I don't know. It's just good storytelling, right? Like, the point of a story shouldn't necessarily... the point of a story is to tell a story and to engage with the audience and for the author, writer, whoever to be like, these are my thoughts and feelings about this subject and I am trying to convey them to others. And for that to be successful, I would say, have minimal distractions. And hanging jingly, shiny keys in my face multiple times every 5 minutes is a distraction. It's not the point. That's not why I'm here. If I wanted those, I would go onto TikTok or YouTube Shorts and watch those Minecraft parkour videos with a clip of Family Guy on the top half of the screen. You know?
Yeah, so Mike puts on the mask and he starts playing FNAF 2.
Yes.
Where the animatronics come into the room, and to stop them, he needs to wear the Freddy mask. Did this make any sense to you? So Mike has the line where he's looking at the mask and he goes, there's no way that's going to work.
Right.
Does that make any sense to you as a non-game fan?
Well, so I do know, right, because I watched Markiplier play them when I was a kid or whatever, that, like, if you, the program, and I think they said it a little bit in the previous movie, like, the animatronics, maybe they didn't say it in the movie, whatever. The animatronics see a security guard, think you're the metal endoskeleton of an animatronic, so they shove you inside of animatronics to make you a proper, real animatronic. So by putting on the mask, these animatronics attacking you scan and say, oh, that's not just an endoskeleton. An endoskeleton wouldn't have a face like that. It'd be a weird bullshit thing I'd have to stuff into a proper body. That's got a body. It's beat up and it's broken, but, like, it's got a body. So, yes, it made sense because I knew pre-knowledge.
So if you're not a FNAF fan, if you're like Bob movie reviewer, the idea that the animatronics are coming for Mike and he reaches for a mask and then it works, and he somehow knew that this is what he was supposed to do, but then it just doesn't work for Foxy. Do you think that is confusing to a non-fan? To someone who only knows what the movies have established? Because I do. Not to ask a leading question, but I think that wasn't established in the movie.
No.
And it made no sense.
Well, before Vanessa and Mike split up, she was like, use that, and she pointed at the mask.
Did she? I've seen this movie 3 times.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just filling that in to make sense of it. I couldn't. That's what I would do. And I'd explain it with a sentence or two, and then she'd run away.
Literally, just... If you're the writer of this movie, have Vanessa say that. Just say, put the mask on, it will confuse them. They'll think you're an animatronic.
Yeah.
Like, just have her say the line.
Why doesn't it work on Foxy?
Because he's broken.
What?
Like, in the games, it's because... In the games... The animatronics have, like, sensors to detect things, but his is broken. So because he's damaged, his eyes don't work or something.
Okay. I mean, okay, I guess. So you know what I thought was kind of lame about the sequence, right? Where he's playing FNAF 2 in the FNAF 2 movie? A Balloon Boy pops up and is like, hi. And he just walks out from the desk, rips off Balloon Boy's head, and throws it. And Balloon Boy is dead. What? Why doesn't he do that for any of the other ones?
Because they're giant. I don't know.
Are they? Not that much. They're not that much bigger than him, and presumably Balloon Boy's made out of similar stuff as the other ones are. And when Foxy, he gets a surprise attack on him or whatever, checks out. But yeah, that's weird that he just wouldn't shoulder check any of them and just solve the problem instead of having delayed reactions. But then you're also questioning the game, although the game had limitations. Anyway, so Vanessa's car gets in the car crash because of Mangle, and she is on the side of the road being like, oh no, I have to go stop the other animatronics and find Charlotte.
You're compounding the 2 times Vanessa's car stops working.
But nothing changes between them.
Well,
one time Mangle fucks up her car and she's like, oh no. And then the other time she fucks up her car to fuck up Mangle and she's like, oh no.
Well, yes, so the toy animatronics are stomping around town
because of Freddy Faz Fest.
Because of the puppet.
And
they're
in disguise.
Toy Freddy's at Faz Fest. Yes, which is stupid, because if his goal is to kill people, why does he leave the place where a bunch of people are? Anyway, Vanessa drives her car at Freddy and slams on the brakes, and Mangle goes flying through a window to kill Toy Freddy.
Yes. Who were assaulting some parents.
Yep.
And they were just some parents. And the Toy Bonnie walks through a crowd of kids. I guess maybe that's why he walks away from the populated areas. It's mostly kids. And then he goes to a home, talks to a small child to convince her to let her inside her room. He does. And then he goes to kill the mom of this small child. And then the small child is like, no, don't kill my mom. I thought you were my friend. Why are you doing this? And then Michael gets access to the shutdown of the puppet being able to control other animatronics. That's the puppet's special ability with the toy toy versions of the animatronics, is she can remote control wirelessly access them and dictate their speech and movement, etc. And how is she able to do that? To quote the movie, it's far superior technology than should have been possible. Fuck you, we don't know magic. So Michael disables that. Toy Bonnie does not kill innocent people. And initially, right, so the Toy Freddy that Vanessa, like, beats up with Mangle by wrecking her car, they attack this older couple, and I'm like, oh, these are, like, the parents from the day that Charlotte was there, and she's gonna kill them to get vengeance. And then it's like, no, Charlotte just thinks all parents are bad because they're all evil and would do the same thing that those parents did to her. So that's why we're going out of our way to kill innocent people now, because all parents are bad. Hashtag, what is it? APAB?
Not all parents? Oh.
All parents are bastards. Which really, like, again, to me, I like, Charlotte, you're just gonna kill any person that's 18 or older? Doesn't that seem a little stupid? No, you're only gonna kill parents? What constitutes a parent? Is it only if they have just kill the people that were there that night? It's so easy. It's so much better of a writing decision. And then I just hear you in the back of my head going, it's a fable's tale. It's trying to teach lessons. And I'm just like, this is becoming a cop-out answer.
But it's all good because Vanessa drives away having saved them and delivered the parents into the loving arms of Doug the lawyer from the first movie.
Okay.
And then her car breaks down.
Oh no.
Meanwhile, Mike is in the location, and he shuts down all the toys, and then he's like, but wait, there's one left. And it's at my house! Oh no!
Waka waka.
And then we cut to Abby. She has won the science fair. I'm glad that plot line was such a big part of this very short movie. She goes home, must have taken another cab, and Toy Chica's putting her to bed.
No, before that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
She wins the science fair. The teacher is outraged by this. And Toy Chica is like, I just want to talk to him. I just want to talk to him. And Abby's like, okay, go off. You're your own autonomous, independent toy chicken. So Toy Chica skulks throughout the school as the teacher forgot his keys to his car and is like, oh, I'm such a silly man, whoopsies. And then there's children running down the hallway that scare him, and he goes, no running in the hall, it's school. And he continues walking down as the children ignore him, and then he walks by a door and sees a silhouette, and he turns around and is like, what? Who's there? He peers deeper into it. No one's there. No silhouette shows itself. Huh. Must have been my imagination. Toy Chica grabs him through the door and goes, I want to see what's going on in your head. And he screams, and he tries to run away, and she chases after him with her slow, heavy footsteps, and he hides under a table with his legs sticking out, and she grabs him by the leg, yanks him up, holds him by the shoulders, and they're like, I need to see what's in your head, crushes his head, drops his body on the floor, and goes, just what I thought. Nothing was in your head. And then walks away and takes the cab with Abby.
Waka. Waka waka.
Wasn't that so cool? Was it?
The only death
gosh.
in the movie, besides Charlie? Yeah, the only murder in the movie.
You mean Charlotte?
Charlie, Charlotte, same thing.
No, it's
Because
not.
Charlotte's name, because Charlotte is shortened to Charlie, which is also a way of shortening Charles, which can also be shortened to Chuck, because Charlotte Emily is also Chuck E. Cheese. Okay, you get it? Cool. I'm glad we agree. So, Toy Chica, her goal this whole time. Okay, let me rephrase that. The puppet who is controlling Toy Chica, her goal this whole time was to kill all the adults. Right?
Yes. Yeah.
She cannot move around as the puppet, which is why she's been inside of Toy Chica's tummy for the last, hour.
Okay.
She also can possess human beings, and when she's in a human, she can fly.
Okay.
So her goal, sort of, has been possess Abby.
Oh.
She
What?
She could have possessed Abby at the Freddy's 2 location before they called the cab. She could have possessed Abby at literally any point in the entire movie.
Well.
Including even if Abby wasn't alone. Because let's say that she possessed Abby at the school. The only way she can be stopped is the music box, which nobody knows is her weakness, and nobody there could stop.
Well.
Meaning she could just run around the building. Technically, she could have possessed Mr. Bad Teacher Man from Seinfeld. She could have possessed him.
Hey.
And then she could have killed a bunch of parents.
No. Why would there be a bunch of parents at the school science fair projects thing, huh?
Yeah. You're so right, Eric. Why would there be at least a ratio of 2-to-1 of adults at a science fair, where there's definitely twice as many adults as kids because it's a science fair, and for every kid, both of their parents are there, and thus she could wipe out half the town at the science fair that night immediately. No. Why would she strike there? Why would she instead go to Abby's house, possess Abby, sit around and do literally nothing, waiting for Mike and Vanessa to get home?
Listen.
Vanessa, who's not even a parent, and Vanessa, who's her friend. Also, Mike's also not a parent. Mike's a brother.
Snaps. It's the same reason Toy Bonnie left the Faz Fest area to kill one mother, okay? The drama. The mise en scène. The je ne sais quoi. The go fuck yourself. That's why.
So she possesses Abby. Toy Chica gives birth to the puppet and she possesses Abby.
Yeah. And then Vanessa is like...
Her car is broken down.
What?
The radiator is broken on Vanessa's car.
Oh, yeah. And then what Jeremiah is like, do you need a ride as I pull up very conveniently to your broken down car? And she goes, yes, thank you. My eyes are wide open and I'm proving your point that I'm crazy because that's what you said in the first act of the movie. And she's like, we need to go to Michael's house now. And he's like, damn, she really is crazy. And they drive there and then they just get there. And Vanessa is like, Charlotte, don't possess Abby. It's me you've wanted all along. You should stop this now. And Charlotte Abby is like, I'm just gonna kill you. I don't care. You are dead to me. So then they play hide and seek, and Vanessa, calling back to a previous scene that we skipped over where she played hide and seek with Abby, hides behind a door, which we all know is the first rule of hiding in hide and seek. So she hides behind a door, and Charlotte Abby just doesn't check. Or she does check. Refresh me with this. It was dumb. So, it was also confusingly laid out because it shows Vanessa hiding behind a door. Then Charlotte Abby is like, I'm smarter than you. I know you're hiding behind a door. But then Vanessa isn't hiding behind a door. She was hiding on the other side.
Vanessa's walking down the hallway. We see behind, sort of where Vanessa cannot see, that the puppet's sort of down the hallway. She turns into Abby's room. The Faz Talker is distracting her, and then the puppet jumps out from behind the bed. So it was not behind her down the hallway. That was just a lie. The movie just lied to us. Vanessa runs away and ducks behind a door. And then we're like, oh, she shouldn't be there. She should be somewhere else. When the puppet then comes around the door and goes, the first rule is to check the doors, Vanessa's not there. She is suddenly on the other side of the room behind a wardrobe or something. So the movie's now lied to us again. And Vanessa's plan is to run really, really, really quickly behind the puppet and just run away. And then the puppet trips her and she falls on the floor.
Okay, so she needed to go to Michael's house to confront the puppet, where her plan was to run away from the puppet.
Where her plan was to do absolutely nothing. Because she
doing
can't stop the
nothing
puppet.
longer than anyone else. Vanessa, this works for you.
The puppet, who already had Vanessa in her grasp and did not want to harm Vanessa, now has Vanessa on the floor, and thus if her motivation is the same, will do nothing to her because she doesn't want to hurt her friend. Yeah, so Vanessa's just yelling like, Abby is innocent, don't hurt Abby!
Yeah. And
then
Michael
stomps in the room.
Entrance.
What's he do?
He opens a music box and plays it, the one that he got from Charlotte's dad. And Charlotte, the puppet, retreats from Abby as she, in like a shrieking scream in horror, but also being put to sleep. And Mike and Vanessa are like, oh my goodness, Abby, are you okay? And she's like, it feels like that time I ate a bag of orange candy. And they go, ha ha, Abby, you're a child. You're funny. And she's like, thanks, I know. And then...
Now pause here for 1 second, for one moment, Eric.
Okay.
If we were watching this for the first time,
Yes.
and I asked you, where in the movie do you think we are? What would you have said?
90%.
Okay. To me, this seems like the start of Act 3.
Oh. No, I mean, that was the climax just now. So, like...
but you know that because you've seen the movie.
What's that?
You know that because you've seen the movie.
No.
In
the
any
climax
normal,
happens, then falling action, right? The bad guy went away. Michael showed up with the music box and it put the puppet away. So now, and Abby's okay. Everyone's good. So we're gonna put the puppet away. We're gonna
but you're being facetious.
What do you mean? No, that's how it would.
Like just like the characters in the movie, you're saying that because the puppet is down the hallway, it's been permanently defeated.
No,
you're being facetious.
I'm saying
you're telling the joke.
The puppet is retreated. We pick up the music box and follow where the puppet went, so we can put the puppet in the present at the location. And we're gonna have to like maybe make a present or find a way to contain it. Maybe it's a new present instead of the one in the location. Maybe we drive it all the way to the location. We have to figure out the puppet thing because the puppet's still in the house. And then we can resolve any character thing. Yeah. Oh, Mike, I guess you are kind of sexy. Oh, Vanessa, you're right. I am. And you know what? I guess your crazy eyes look good on you. Let's make out. And then Abby's like, hey, no-name kid who's my friend, I guess maybe we're dating because heteronormative stereotypes or something. I don't know. You want to... And then she like gives him a peck on the cheek, and then the sun is out, and it's like, wow, we really were at Freddy's for 5 nights.
Mike kisses Vanessa, and Abby goes, ew, this is more disgusting than those orange candies that made me throw up.
You're so right! What was I thinking? That's the ending that should have been... Damn it!
Instead, hey, you know how those toy animatronics that were shut down?
Yeah.
Were shut down.
Care of them.
Right, you remember that? You remember that they were shut down?
2 of them crashed into each other at high velocity due to a car.
On the other side of town.
Right. The prototype ones were shut down and also in an undisclosed amount of miles away from the house, so they can't affect anything. And then, what is it? Toy Bonnie is shut down and didn't kill anyone because he was shut down. And, and Balloon Boy was destroyed. So that's all of them.
Yes. So the next thing that happens is the toys all break into the house.
Well, that
Mangle and Toy Freddy have stood up and walked here. Toy Bonnie is here. So the question is, did he end up killing... When he reactivated, did he then, like, kill that family or whatever?
Well, so...
I know they ran away,
yeah.
but, like, how far did they run? You know.
Well...
but yeah, the toys are here somehow. And it turns out... Remember the guy in the beginning, Michael with the eyebrows, who was not working with the puppet in any capacity, and she tried to attack him.
The security guard, yeah, that let
you remember him.
The Scoopy guys into the building, and then he ran for his life, screaming and pissing.
Yes, he is now here, and he's in charge of the toys, and when he gives them verbal commands, they follow them.
Oh, so he's like another ghost?
No.
Oh.
Now, someone left a comment on one of my videos saying that what clearly happened is Michael went back to the FNAF location, used the computer terminal, and changed the toys' programming so that when they came back online, 2, they knew where to go, and 3, they'd follow his instructions.
Oh my gosh. Did I miss that scene? Was I in the bathroom when that happened?
So not only, if that is the case, is it not conveyed in the movie, but that's not something that the computer has been said to do. Like, the toys follow the instructions of the puppet, and the puppet is a ghost. Yeah. There's no indication that a computer program could tell the toys. They don't have the artificial intelligence to convey, hard commands like that.
It's not AI or technology.
It's a ghost.
It's ghosts. And the only tech part is the puppet controlling the other toys because of an intricate system that we don't know how to explain.
But no, he can command them.
Well, and we skipped a scene as well. That's my bad. Before Michael came in to the house with the music box and saved the day and all that, he went to the original Five Nights at Freddy's location, which is original to us, but not to them, and was like, if you ghosts are still around, you need to help Abby if you ever cared about her, and if you're not gonna help her, then you're not real friends, and you should be ashamed of yourselves. Okay, bye. And then
these ghosts, the ghosts he just asked for help to save Abby,
yes,
have only ever been shown to have the motivation of killing Abby so that she can be their friend in the ghost world, right?
Yeah.
That was their plot in the first movie? They wanted to kill Abby?
But they wanted to kill her so they could play together forever.
Yes, they wanted to kill Abby, correct. That was their motivation in the first movie. And we have yet to see anything other than that be their motivation, besides also hating William. But yeah, they want to kill Abby. That's the only thing we know about them. Also, Mike did tell us that the robots, the physical animatronics, are in pieces all around the room. Because when Abby asks where they are, he says, "Oh, there's some over here, some over there. They're broken apart, completely smashed."
No, because he just meant like the stuffing and the fur.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, but they're totally fine.
Yeah, like Bonnie's in one corner, Foxy's in another corner, and that's just really hard for them to move, from like one side of the room to the other. Yeah, they're in otherwise, good working order.
All right, so what happens, back in the house? The eyebrow man steps in. What does he tell them?
Security guard Michael is like, "Wahaha, I am Michael Afton, son of William Afton, brother of Vanessa Afton, and I am going to kill you all to continue my father's legacy." And everyone's like, "What? That's insane. You're insane. You have crazy eyes." And he goes, "Yeah. And I'm gonna kill you." And right before the toy animatronics kill him, the animatronics from the first movie show up, and they each come in and rip off a piece of the new animatronics in some creative, unique way for each of them. Chica, what does Chica do?
I genuinely don't remember.
Freddy rips off the head.
No. Freddy has this great callback to the first movie. Okay. So Freddy rips Toy Freddy in half.
Yeah.
The same way that he killed the innocent Max from the first movie. Whoa. It was a really cool callback to back when Freddy was a murderer who killed one of the characters that we like.
Oh.
Because Freddy's a superhero now. I love that you call them the Avengers, because that's also what I call them in the scene.
Because they show up one by one, do a cool action pose, and go push up their glasses and go, "I'm here. Don't worry."
With the theme song playing.
Yeah. You hear her as people are getting ripped in half, animatronics, I guess.
It's beautiful.
And then Michael is like, impossible! And he runs away, and he gets clotheslined by Jeremiah. And the day is saved. And the ghosts come out of the animatronics, except when I mean ghosts, I mean only the blonde-haired boy, because the rest aren't important. And they go, okay, we did our part, but now we gotta go. And they're like, wow, thank you so much. You are so useful. We'll never take you for granted ever again. And we'll make sure to do anything you say. And they go, great, because we won't be able to keep him any longer because we're ascending. And Michael goes, who? And then the children ghosts are gone. Forever. And then Michael Afton, just gets up and walks away.
Okay, so...
And then Michael is like, Abby, get away from Vanessa. She's crazy. Look at her crazy eyes. And Vanessa's like, but I chose you over Michael Afton, my real family, because I wanted to be a member of this family. And Michael looks at her crazy eyes and goes, this is impossible. It's never gonna work. Leave us alone. And storms out and runs away with Jeremiah. And then the puppet snatches and possesses Vanessa because the music box stopped working, I guess. The end.
So, the day after we saw the movie, you, I, and the two people that we saw the movie with got together in person to watch the new Knives Out movie.
Yes.
And before the movie started, I was trying to make popcorn in their microwave.
Uh-huh.
And so I'm like, I'm trying to beep boop it. I'm trying to get it to work, and it's just not working. And so I look at our friend and I say, hey, how's the microwave work? And our other friend just goes, who? And I'm like, I'm asking him how the microwave, and she goes, who? I'm like, how do you start the microwave? And she goes, no. I'm referencing the stupidest question anyone's ever asked, which is when Mike Schmidt asked who when the Golden Freddy kid said, I can't hold him any longer.
Well, Listen, the events of past movies do not apply to events in the current movie until it is deemed necessary, okay? Everyone's got bad case of forgetitis. And that's contagious.
So that whole part of the movie where the regular animatronics run out of power, so they all have to go to heaven or whatever. Golden Freddy's not in the house, the physical robot.
Yeah, why would he be?
Because Golden Freddy kid said that they're moving on.
Yeah.
So there's Golden Freddy the robot.
Well, we can only have one Freddy on screen, otherwise it's too confusing.
Sigh.
Yeah. The other child actors were busy, I guess.
Yeah, I genuinely cannot get over...
Who?
I can't hold him any longer. Who?
Well,
Sigh. Okay. Then, mid-credit scene. You don't really have much to say about this. It's just teasing for the next movie. They find Springtrap.
Oh, yeah. There's three guys that come into the building. They find Springtrap, and they're like, this would make a great prop for our new business. And then they throw a tarp over him. That's it.
And that was the post-credit scene.
They're eating orange candy, and Abby's in the bathroom throwing up as Michael's rubbing her back, and she's just like, I told you I couldn't do it! I told you!
Man, I must have missed that one.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
What was the post-credit scene?
It was when Vanessa went to get therapy, and she was like, I understand the stigma, especially in around early 2000s era that we're in, but I just am having a really difficult time moving past the trauma of my father, my dead best friend, my supposed brother, who I knew I always had, but he just disappeared out of my life and reintroduced himself in a really strange, bizarre way, and I'm having difficulty handling all of this, and I just need help, and I know my friends and family can only do so much for me, so that's why I came to you to seek professional help, and, you know, we can go from there, evaluate, assess, and maybe I need medications or something. Maybe I don't. Maybe it's all just in my head, and maybe it's not. This is why I need you. And the therapist is like, so we have a lot to work through, and that's okay. The important thing is you're here.
What about the post credit scene?
It's when Jeremiah is on the front lawn, and he's like, wait a minute, did I only have 2 minutes of screen time?
Did I punch this guy running out of the house even though I had no idea who he was? I just assaulted, like, this man who could have been running from the robots. For all I knew.
You know, that's actually not a half bad point. Wait a minute.
So the real ending is we just get audio of Henry going, Mike, the puppet is coming for you. And that's the real ending.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I definitely knew that.
So, what are your overall thoughts on the movie?
I think it was bad.
As a non-FNAF fan. Okay.
I think it
what might you give it out of 10?
I was originally going to give it like a 3 or a 4. And then you had the take that was like, well, I give it a 5 personally because, you know, it didn't actively detract from my viewing experience / life or whatever.
My life, yeah. I've seen so many bad movies that have physically made my life worse.
Yeah.
And this movie is not one of them, so I cannot give it below a 5.
And I was like, you know what? I think I might take that and use that for my own metrics. And now that we've done this for 2 hours, no, it does deserve like a 4. And I think my marker is going to be that if it's a 3 or below, then it will actively detract from my life. Because you know what? Fuck this movie.
Okay, I need you to look right in the non-existent camera.
Yeah.
And I need you to tell the fine people that none of your opinions or statements in this video were prompted by me, stated by me, that your opinions were not based on mine at all. People will watch this and be like, GiBi coached his non-FNAF friend to just state his own opinions back at us for 2 hours. Why did I watch this? I didn't know what you were going to say before we started talking.
Hi, my name is Eric. I have full autonomy of my entire being. I am a sound, conscious mind and spirit and body, stating my own opinions about Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie. I have no collusion involved in any capacity with this. I am simply expressing my thoughts and views from my mouth to this microphone to your ears. So that, you know, we may have an episode 94 of our delightful little podcast. And, I have seen the movie Skyline, and it's been a long time. Maybe I need to rewatch it because I'm really struggling with what I think a bad movie is now, because I didn't like anything in Five Nights at Freddy's 2, the movie, but it was competently made enough that I feel I can't say it's worse than Skyline, but at the same time, at least I can laugh about Skyline. I don't know. It's a weird spot that I'm in. Skyline is a movie from back in the day. It was my go-to worst movie of all time ever. Even the movie Unfriended, if you remember that. Gosh, there are so many bad movies, and this is just bad enough for me to not like it, but also just executed. It's like almost middle ground of like, you could see the ideas and stuff that they wanted to do, and for either restrictions, budget constraints, with something happened in the making of this movie that was like, okay, we can't do that, and and we got to cut that scene. And it can't be longer than 2 hours and 30 minutes. Okay, we got to trim this down. We really don't have the money for more scenes with the animatronics either. Yikes.
So, okay, I guess my overall question, besides the fact you already gave it a review, would be, because you said, budget restrictions, whatever. I personally have identified a couple things as being major problems. The first is a lack of causation and lamp shading. So if Vanessa had just said, put on the mask, it'll stop the animatronics from hurting you, that would have been great. If the puppet at the end of the movie didn't repeat back the always check behind doors lines, then I would not have questioned the fact that the puppet didn't just mind read the code from Vanessa. Mm-hmm. Because if whoever the puppet is possessing, she can read the mind of, so she can recall that joke, then she should have just been able to possess Vanessa and know the code to leave the building. So that's another big plot hole. You can change these things by simply not having them in the movie. If Scott Cawthon showed me this movie a week before it came out and I said, maybe cut the line where Abby says the thing about the door and maybe have Vanessa ADR a line telling Mike how the mask works, I think those things would be fixed. I think they're huge problems. They make the movie worse, but they're simple fixes. So I think a non-simple fix that makes the movie worse is the entire science fair.
Say more.
Just the science fair. Just like, why is this in the movie? The entire thing.
Because Abby is a strong, independent 11-year-old, and that needs to be shown. Also, we have to allude to her becoming an engineer or something, or a mechanic, so that way, by the time Five Nights at Freddy's 3 and or 4 rolls around, she can be a more active character in the fight scenes and stuff, where she's like, don't worry, I disabled his ankle joints with my socket wrench, so he won't be chasing us anymore. And then Mike goes,
Scott's such a good planner. Scott is such a good planner. He put the entire middle half of this movie at the science fair to set that up for a future movie. Yes. But was not a good enough planner to lampshade how the mask works in FNAF 2.
Well, it's so obvious. Why do you need it?
Oh, you're right.
Come on. Why are people that didn't play the game watching this movie? Ask yourself
Facts. You know, Torchica has a 3D printer.
Yes, 100%. Obviously. Why? And it's 2002 or whatever, okay? That technology existed. You know, and to go back to the movie thing, remember when the Mario movie and Sonic came out? Everyone that watched those, they played the games first. They knew. No one's gonna watch those movies and be like, wow, I love Mario from the Mario movie, and inflict psychic damage to older audience members that are like, no, Mario's from a video game. And the person goes, no, he's from the movie. That scenario won't happen because everyone will have played the games first, then watch the movie. Like a proper informed participant of any good community. Gosh, get your media literacy up.
Were you aware that this movie was solely written by Scott Cawthon?
No.
How does that make you feel?
I gotta appreciate the hustle. You know, he's becoming a millionaire. He's tapping out, and respect.
I think if Scott comes up with the story for the next movie, he should just not be the only screenwriter.
So, you know what's interesting about this that makes me think of? There's a few video games made by a man called David Cage, and they tend to have very good ideas, and then he's the sole writer, and it becomes a little bit muddied. And as his career progressed, you know, as he made more of a name for himself, as video games got more complicated, and the tech evolved, and so forth and so on, and company, all this stuff, right? He became the, like, I don't know what they call it, like the main writer, the lead writer, or whatever. Yeah. And then a bunch of companies were like, great, we're going to work on this now. Like, we hired other writers, we hired editors, we hired, other people to filter your ideas and extract the core essence, and then we refine it from you. And the earlier his games are, the more weird and, like, auteur.
So Heavy Rain... Heavy Rain, Beyond Two Souls, Detroit Become Human. Those are the ones I know.
There's also Fahrenheit. What is it? I want to say Fahrenheit 451. That's not the one that is, though. Maybe it's just Fahrenheit. There's also Omicron. He started on like the PS1, and then if you look right, even just from Heavy Rain, which came out in like 2012 or whatever, there's a lot of weird ideas and missing scenes and gaps and whatever, and it doesn't make sense sometimes. And then you play Detroit Become Human, which came out, I think, in like 2020, where he had the most restrictions, right? Other people writing it and stuff, and it is out of all of his games, the tightest, well executed,
yes,
most mainstreamy, etc. I bring all of this up to say maybe Scott needs a little bit of that. Mr. Hawthorne?
Okay. Cawthon.
So maybe
the only statement,
Wranglers.
The acting was great. The animatronics were great.
Yeah.
The script needed some work. Well, the story, probably, if everything else was perfect, I might criticize the story, but the script was so bad that I don't even feel the need to criticize the story.
Damn.
In my opinion.
Yeah. It is kind of a shame, especially the actress of Abby. Like, she is solid. She is a great child actor. And it's a little bit like, I don't know, because I'm also thinking back, right? Because one of the things you asked after we watched it, you were like, how do you like it compared to the first movie? I think the first movie's way better. I'd say like the first movie's a 7 out of 10 or something. Like, it's tighter. I feel like the character interactions are more, I don't want to say human, but like more involved. They're more engaged with each other. And I feel like this movie was just kind of, I don't know, it needed longer in the oven. Needed to cook.
Yes, like how the puppet was in Toy Chica's oven, because Toy Chica was pregnant with the puppet. The end. Thank you all for watching episode 94 of Slapendipity, Hobos of Happy Slappy Town. If you liked this, maybe you can go back and watch our backlog of 93 other episodes.
There's
Keep in mind, I don't remember.
Episodes.
We had a bonus Christmas episode last year. I also don't stand by anything I've ever said in any of those videos, nor do I remember saying them. So please, don't cancel me.
The podcast is for a fun, diary-esque thing. Take it all with a grain of salt, please and thank you.
Yeah, there have been times where our commenter, like all 4 of our normal watchers and commenters, have been like, GiBi, you contradicted something you said 30 episodes ago when you said this. And I'm like, not only don't I remember saying that 30 episodes ago, I don't remember saying it the second time that's contradictory.
Well, you know. Shrug.
I roll on the... Typically, we don't do 2-hour movie reviews. I would say that typically the point of the podcast is for me to say things that makes Eric go, "Aw, you," and then Eric says things that...
Yes, no, I'm sorry. I'll let you finish your sentence. And
the point is we get to listen to you answer questions that I come up with that you haven't thought about before. And so therefore, my goal is to come up with questions that you've never thought about before. Like, if you were turned into a horse, would you rather retain your identity and have to sadly look in on your family on Christmas dinner where you can't go inside because you're a horse? Or would you rather, leave your life behind and just go be a horse wild and free through the prairie? And even though you can no longer live with your aided human intelligence, you're at least happy because you're being your horse self.
Yeah. I'm surprised there's no one was like, well, horses don't feel emotions, actually. Have you heard that? Like, animals aren't... That's a different thing.
Next time.
Yeah, I know.
And next time, animals aren't.
Animals aren't. They aren't real. Freddy Fazbear, he's based off someone's imagination, not a bear.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Bye. This should have ended an hour ago. Bye.
Well, bye.
I'm in so much pain.